Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you a fantastic game played at 2018 World Rapid Championship. This game was played between two Russian grandmasters, Peter Svidler and Dmitry Andreikin. Now let's see what happened on the board. Svidler opened up with knight f3 and knight f6 by Andreikin. c4, white goes for the English opening, and b6, black is preparing to fianchetto his queenside bishop. We have bishop g2, g6, black goes for the second fianchetto, c5, e3, bishop g7, d4. We have castling kingside, knight c3, knight e4, knight e2, knight c6, knight f4, e6, rook e1, f5, d5, e takes d5, knight takes d5. If we have a look at the position, black got a somewhat weakened pawn on d7, but of course exploiting that weakness is going to be difficult, and on the other hand later we will see that that pawn is going to play a very important role in the game. Knight e7, knight goes back on f4, queen c7, a4, and g5. Black is starting an advancement on the king's side. Knight h5, this time g4. Knight h4, knight g6, with knight takes g7, and in return we have knight takes h4. G takes h4, king takes g7. If we have a look at the position, black managed to create weaknesses on white's king side, and now will come after white king. Queen c2, rook f6. Yes, the rook is coming on h file. b3. Meanwhile, white wants to fianchetto his dark squared bishop and try to somehow exploit the weakness of a1, h8 diagonal. Rook h6. Meanwhile, black is proceeding with his attack. Bishop b2 check, king f7, and bishop takes e4. White is giving away his light squared bishop, which could have been useful in order to organize the defense, but is doing it in order to get rid of the black knight and free the c3 square for the queen. Queen c3 is on the board, and white hopes to exploit the weaknesses of the dark squares. Here black played rook g8, and if we have a look, both rooks are successfully covering all the essential squares, and there is no way to penetrate black's camp. Here, overlooking black's next move, Svidler played a5, which allowed Andreikin to go for one of the most beautiful combinations I have ever seen. You can pause the video and try to find his next moves. Ready? He went for queen takes h2 check. Look at this beautiful queen sacrifice. By the way, instead of playing a5, if a move like queen e5, of course this could have prolonged white's resistance, although even in this case black has a very dangerous attack and a huge advantage. In our game after rook g8, as I've already mentioned, a5 was played and queen takes h2 check. King takes h2 and rook takes h4 check. Now if king g1, then rook h1 checkmate. That's why white king should march forward in order to prolong his life. Rook h3 check. Meanwhile black pieces are chasing white king. Rook f3 check, king e5, and believe it or not, but after rook g6 Svidler resigned. With this last move, black created two mating threats, d6 and rook e6. For example, now if you play rook d1, then rook e6 checkmate is coming, and if a takes b6, then d6, and we have a brutal checkmate with the pawn. That's why after rook g6, Svidler resigned. By the way, he was so impressed by this combination that couldn't hide his smile. Let's have a look at that moment of the game.
Yeah.
And rook g6, absolutely brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant game. Two mates are threatening, and Peter Svidler is smiling. I mean, yeah, I mean, you lose the game, and then you still cannot be upset with such a nice combination. So d6 is threatening.
And rook e6
is threatening. Yeah, we've missed this one. We've got the idea, but yeah.
Yes, truly a brilliant game, guys. By the way, I would like to ask you to go back on move 24, where black played rook g8. Let's have a look. What if queen takes h2 in here? It turns out that in here the queen sacrifice won't pass, and with a very accurate defense, actually white can draw the game. King f4, rook f3 check. Let's see how it goes. King e5, king e7. The threat is d6 checkmate. Rook d1 and rook e8. This time the threat is d6 check and then king f7 and rook takes e6 checkmate. For example, if bishop a1 then d6 check. This is a very important move in order to force black rook to occupy this d6 square, not to allow black king to escape, and then black is checkmating white king. Or after rook e8, if you play queen d2, then even in this case d6 is winning. Yes, you are capturing on d6 with a check, which looks very scary, but now black is announcing a discovered check, and again white king is in a mating net. If queen e6 check, then rook takes e6 checkmate. That's why you should play queen e7 check in order to free this d6 square for the king, but even this won't help white. This endgame should be winning for black. That's why after rook e8, actually the only move which allows white to draw the game is rook takes d7. And now after king takes d7 check, king f6, rook e6 check, king g7, white king is managing to escape successfully, and all black can do is to announce a perpetual check. A very beautiful game, I think, and I'm sure this game will definitely be treasured in chess literature. I just want to call this game a Russian beauty. Thanks for watching, I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Good luck.